I will show you how to make this sound absolutely indistinguishable from Joe Rogan's microphone. I hope you're okay with a microphone that sounds the same for 1/5 the price. Hello, my friends. Do you want some sound advice? You don't want Joe Rogan's microphone. Now, people come to me all the time and say, should I get this mic? Should I get this mic? Should I get this mic? Partly because I'm a consultant and partly because I have a lot of friends who want to do something that requires they make sound. I had one come to my studio about a month ago and say, I've just been banging my head against a wall for 6 months, watching reviews and stuff on YouTube and reading these discussion boards, and I don't know what to think, and I don't know what to believe anymore, and I'm not sure anybody knows what they're talking about, and I have information overload. I'm worse off now than I was before. Yeah, you are. So I will give you some advice based on more than 30 years of experience as an audio expert. I've consulted for small studios and multi-million-dollar auditoriums, run sound for events with audiences in the tens of thousands, and I taught this stuff at colleges and universities for years. This is not my first rodeo, and I can make a recommendation to you right now that will get you going faster than anything else and for less money than you would have believed. And the answer is this. This is the Shure SM57. Now, Shure is a microphone company that's been around for ages, spelled S-H-U-R-E. The SM7B, the microphone that Joe Rogan uses, actually began with the capsule from this microphone. It was kind of based on this one. This SM57 has been around since 1966, and it is absolutely a professional microphone built like a tank. A friend of mine ran over his, and it still works, and used by professionals all over the world. If you've ever seen a concert, whether live or on TV, you've probably seen hundreds of these and didn't even know it. They're famously good as instrument mics because they can handle a ton of sound. You can stick one right in front of a guitar amp. You can put one right above the head of a snare drum, and it won't ruin the microphone. So they're built like a tank that can handle all kinds of sound, but they're fantastic on vocals. Don't let it throw you that if you look this up online, it says instrument mic. That has to do with how close you can get the head of this or the diaphragm of this microphone to the instrument. But it's absolutely a fantastic vocal mic. One of Madonna's most famous albums was done with using this as the primary vocal mic. In Excess, same thing. Lenny Kravitz used it all the time. Bruce Springsteen used it on Born in the USA. Bono uses it all the time. Even John Lennon. John Lennon had a cracked one, and his engineer had him use it because he said that cracked SM57 made John Lennon's voice sound a little grittier, and it sounded better. So use that mic. So I don't know how he cracked it. You'd have to just beat it on cement to make that happen, but it happened. So if you came to me and said, what should I get? I would say, get the Shure SM57 because for an additional $14 and about 5 minutes of work, I will show you how to make this sound absolutely indistinguishable from Joe Rogan's microphone. But you'll be out $114 instead of $500. I hope you're okay with a microphone that sounds the same for 1/5 the price. Here's how you do it. First thing you do is you buy the mic. These are $99 most of the time. I've seen them. I saw them as recently as last week. I saw one on sale for $79. These are $99 and they're everywhere. Your local music store, Guitar Center, Amazon, Sweetwater.com, doesn't matter. They're everywhere. Usually when people buy this microphone, they buy a cheap foam windscreen to go on the end to protect against plosives, the that kind of stuff. You can't get those out once they're recorded, so it's a good idea, but don't buy this foam windscreen. So this $99, spend an extra $15 right here. This is the Shure A2WS windscreen. Why do they call it that? I have no idea. WS probably stands for windscreen. But the nice thing about this is that it's a little longer than this foam one. The space between the end of the windscreen and the diaphragm of the microphone dissipates the air and kind of gets rid of 90% of all of the plosives. The rest of that is totally taken care of with good microphone technique, and it just won't be a problem. And then you'll spend 5 minutes of your time, and I've got another video to show you exactly how to do this on any decent audio editing program, even some of the freebies like Audacity, for example, or any decent video editing program. I will show you how to go into an equalizer setting and use some EQ to make one little adjustment to this. It'll take you 5 minutes on a really bad day if you're a total novice. You'll be fine. I promise. Once you've done that, spent the extra $15, spent 5 minutes, then you could go into a room, an audio expert could go in and listen to recordings or listen to live information coming from these microphones. And unless the microphones were adjusted exactly the same way, with exactly the same amount of input and exactly the same volume settings at exactly the same distance in exactly the same position in the room as the other microphone, even with sophisticated measuring equipment, it would be very difficult for a professional to tell the difference. And nobody else will ever know the difference. You just got something that sounds like Joe Rogan's mic for just over $100. You have $400 to play with. So you can go to Ruth's Chris and just eat yourself into a coma, or you could buy a good audio interface, get some room treatment, get some lighting if you're doing video. So if you need that, get a more comfortable chair. Do whatever it takes. Knock yourself out. The kinds of things you're able to do are way better and way more likely to help you be successful than the difference you will never notice buying a $500 microphone. There's nothing more versatile, nothing more flexible, and nothing more durable than this microphone. And no, I do not work for Shure or anybody that sells them. I'm just a guy who consults with a lot of people who want to get it right. When you're tempted to get on that podcast thread because you're desperate to sound professional, you might get a response like the one I saw the other day where somebody said, "What microphone should I get?" And there were 83 responses by the time I read it, and all 83 were wrong. So I recommend a professional microphone with an XLR connector going into an audio interface and into your computer. Now, I don't question the integrity or the desire to help of all those who responded, but there's no teacher quite like experience. Pretend that you gave me a call. Think about what kinds of questions you would ask, and then let me know in the comments section. I want to know what would be most helpful to you. I've done this for so long that I just want to get all of this knowledge out there in the world, encouraging young things to grow, whether or not you're young. So let me know in the comments section what you want to hear, and we'll talk again soon.